Hi, family. I hope that everyone is doing okay today. I'm here today with a poem called Counterfeit Confections, and I hope that you guys really enjoy it. If you like my poetry, definitely subscribe. If you do not like my poetry, definitely subscribe and share it with someone that might love it, okay? Or give me a shot another day, all right? Listen, this one was written in 2018. It's called Counterfeit Confessions by J.P. McMillan. Okay? I'm not dead, but I'm not alive. I'm just floating from day to day, from year to year, and nothing has changed. I'm still angry. I'm still unhappy. I'm still depressed. I'm still lonely. I'm still hurting. I'm tired of living a lie. I'm tired of playing this role. This character is far too complex. Yeah, I bit off more than I can chew. I'm choking on despair. I have chased happiness all my life. I used to run so fast. Now I'm tired of running. I'm tired of being depressed. I'm tired of being counterfeit. When I step out of my bubble into the real world, I pretend like I'm happy. Yet I don't really recall a time when I was genuinely happy. If I catch a glimpse, it fades so fast that I question if it was even real, or if it was what, or if it was just my heart playing a trick on me. To help me cope with the pain that takes over me, I cry out loud, but I make no sound. I feel compelled to act like everything is good. I'm tired of acting. I'm tired of lying to myself. I'm tired of feeling obligated to others. I'm tired of having to appear one way just to stay free. I fear losing my freedom more than I fear losing my life. My freedom is all that I have left. I never felt the love. That's just the way that it is. I fought for it daily, and I almost lost me in the battle for a temporary fix that ended in heartbreak and isolation. Yeah. The betrayal reminds me of July. The trauma reminds me of December. The flashbacks remind me of heartbreak. I was left with me, and sometimes it just doesn't feel like enough. I feel numb. I feel empty. I feel stuck. I feel confused. Seems like everyone's moved on with their lives, but I'm still stuck in this place. I'm still fighting sad memories from that day, from yesterday, the day before, from the past, the year before. I'm still fighting sad memories from that day. If you could just feel my heart, if you could just feel my pain, if you could just see my scars, if you could see the holes in the door, if you could just feel my sorrow, if you could just see my thoughts, if you could just see the truth, maybe then, maybe you would ask for my forgiveness. And I would finally have closure. I would offer my apologies as well. I would say I'm sorry. Maybe that wouldn't be enough. But maybe then happiness would chase me and I would slow down and let her catch me. Thank you guys. I hope you like my poetry. you know, if you guys can tell, I guess I'm not my usual self, or possibly I appear to be my usual self. But this weekend, Saturday, Friday, Friday was actually a difficult day for me. And, we all have our ups and downs. And like poetry has become like my best friend, like my therapy, like my coping mechanism. So when I'm feeling down, that's really my primary source of just elevating myself back up to a level where I know that I belong. Um, it's not always easy, you know. People suffer from different things, I wouldn't wish depression or anxiety on anyone, not even my worst enemy. I wouldn't wish that on them. So, um, yeah, it's just certain times of the year. Sometimes winter, sometimes random. Sometimes it's the same every year, or sometimes it varies a little bit by week to week. But there's just a certain time of the year that I just sometimes find myself feeling lower than normal, or more depressed than normal, or more stressed than normal. And then sometimes it doesn't even appear to be in relation to something else. But of course it is. But sometimes it's hard for me to pick up on what it is that triggers it. So I am just taking it day by day. And I guess it's important for me to listen to the advice and take the advice that I put out there. Usually when I'm giving advice, I'm just giving it to myself. I write the advice for myself and hope and pray that it will help someone as well as myself. Just being truthful about that. I think that sometimes people want to pretend like they have it all together and everything is wonderful and there's no downs and there's no sadness and there's no sorrow and they're just good. And I think like if a person comes across that way, sometimes you just have to ask yourself, is that even realistic? Is that realistic in life? That someone is always happy, that someone is always smiling, that someone is always giving, that someone is always joking. Like, we're human beings. We all go through ups and downs, and some people handle it much better than others. A lot of times when I talk about my situation, people will tell me about their situation. And they'll tell me not because they're trying to say that my situation isn't bad, but they'll say it like to try to say like we all go through something. And that's true. But one of the most difficult things for me is not that I go through something. It's the way that I perceive it, the way that I process it, the way that I handle it, the fact that I internalize it, sometimes the fact that it seems to consume or overwhelm me to the point where I go to the lowest place. I go to like the deepest depression that you could imagine. And it's really hard to explain it. So the closest thing that I can explain it, that I could compare it to, is to say, it feels worse than losing someone close to you to death. I've experienced that, and then I've experienced that type of depression. And I'm telling you that it feels worse than that at times. Not every time, but sometimes. And so if we have compassion and understanding for someone who's mourning, I just hope that we can have compassion and understanding for people that's a little different from us because they suffer from depression or anxiety or a mental illness that prevents them from just doing the everyday things that other people sometimes take for granted or can do easily. And I hope that when you hear someone tell you their story, that you don't feel the need to automatically say, well, yeah, I'm in the same shoes as you. Because truthfully, no one walks in the same shoes as another person. Even if we wear the same size and we have the exact same shoes, our life story, our life journey is different. And I try my best to be compassionate to other people. And oftentimes, when you're going through something, really going through something, sometimes you don't appear that way on the outside. And there's been people who will make comments during that time. And sometimes those comments hurt so bad that it could push a person over the edge. So I try not to even reach out to those people who I feel like they might push me over the edge. But sometimes people don't have a choice. That's all they have in their circle. That's their friends. That's their family. That's their close acquaintances. And they'll reach out to that person. And I'm just saying, be mindful. Be mindful when you're trying to say something in the moment that's trying when you're trying to express your sympathy for a loss of a loved one, for a loss of a child, for a loss of a job, for a loss of a relationship, for a loss of finances, for a traumatic situation, just be mindful of how you treat a person in that moment, because that moment is very significant in that person's life at that very moment. Now, yes, things can improve in the future. Things can improve tomorrow, the very next day, the very next week, the very next month. Yes, it can. But sometimes when we are going through something in that moment, we either need your support or your silence. If you don't know what to say, I believe that it is better to say, I am in shock. I don't even know what to say. I'm speechless right now. I don't have any idea of what to say to even begin to help you through this situation. Or you can say, I can't even relate, but my heart goes out to you. Or you can say, I have no idea what you are going through. That is sometimes better than saying the typical everyday thing that you hear. Now don't get me wrong. Somebody said to me yesterday, I hope you feel better. And I will tell you, that was the most beautiful words that I ever heard, because it came at the right moment and at the right time with the right energy behind it. So don't get me wrong. You don't got to be a poet or a perfectionist in life. But all I'm asking you to do is think about this before you talk to a person that's going through something. Just think about, what if it was you? What if it was you? If you was going through something, would you want someone to have a 3-minute conversation with you and be like, all right, peace, talk to you tomorrow? Or would you want them to talk to you for 10, 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes and just talk to you? Think about how you want to be treated. Think about how you would want your loved ones to be treated in that same situation. Because sometimes we're so busy with life. We're so busy with the good things that's going on in our life, the happiness in our life, that we forget that there is someone out there that's going through something. Sometimes a lot of us, we're surrounded by just many people who are blessed. So we don't see the struggles as often or as frequent as somebody else maybe. So I just want to say, I think the moral of this video for me is, and I'm talking to myself, so I'm talking to myself as well, to be kind to a person. Be thoughtful with your words. Be careful with your words. And sometimes even put yourself behind the person. Don't make it about you. Just let the person have their moment. Let the person vent. Let the person breathe. And know that there may be a day when you may need the same thing. And for the people who are loving and kind and mindful, because it doesn't mean because you say the wrong thing that you're not loving and you're not kind. But it does mean that you might need to work on being more mindful, being more present in the moment. All I'm saying is, we are each other's family. Whether we're related or not, whether we meet once or twice, or for a lifetime, or for a season, or for a reason, we are each other's family. And we should treat family kind. There's really no such thing as a stranger. It's just how we perceive it. We should treat each other kind. We should be caring and understanding. And we should try our very best to never do anything to someone that we would not want done to ourselves. Or if you're the type of person that has thick skin, our loved ones, meaning our children, you know what I mean? You're more, even if you have thick skin, when it comes to your children, you're very sensitive. Or our pets. Some people, they put pets before people. So if you wouldn't want it done to your pet, please don't do it to a human being. I'm just being honest, just being truthful. Some people put pets equal to human beings. So if you wouldn't want it done to your pet, then don't do it to someone else. Be kind, be understanding. And if we all take that as an area of importance in our lives, to be kind, to be understanding, to not take stuff so personal that has nothing to do with the moment. You know, sometimes a person will say something and I'm included in that conversation. But it's not shade. It's not a shot at me. It's just the truth. And sometimes it's not necessary to feel it like it's a shot or a shade and to react or respond like it's a shot or shade. And sometimes even if it is okay as a human being to forgive that shot, to forgive that shade at that moment and address it later in a mild, caring fashion. So, I guess I'm going to end by saying, I love you, family. And if this message was intended for you, then I am so grateful and I'm so thankful that this message was intended for you. If this message does not apply to you and you do not need it, please be willing, be kind, and share it with someone that may need it. And I still appreciate you taking the time to listen to my video today. And just in case no one has told you today, I just want to let you know, family, that I love you and I will see you tomorrow. Take care.